Hi everyone, it is Lisa C here, just joining you. This week's topic is happiness a choice? I know you see it thrown around all the time, and I wanted to go a little bit deeper into that with you. Is it really that simple, and is happiness just a choice? So, my name is Lisa C. I am a life coach and I help people overcome their self doubts and be able to prioritize their self love and care without guilt so they can live a life that they love. And welcome. I hope you find this this video really helpful. And the question that's been coming up a lot in the last kind of month is like the statement of happiness is a choice. And just to be open and honest, like every human being goes through difficult times in their life. And I was kind of experiencing one of those and I kept drilling myself. Like, tell me if you've ever done this, but happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice. And like this inner voice was just being so critical, like, get your way out. Happiness is a choice. Just make the choice. I don't know why you're finding it so hard. And it kind of like was almost using that positive statement to beat yourself up about it, right? And so that got me curious. You know how I get curious, and I just have to look into these things a little bit deeper and really reflect on them. So I went on a bit of a journey, and I want to take you with me because this can really, I found that this moment like really enlightened my life and the load that I was carrying, and I was actually able to then shift that mentality into a more positive one. Because we all know the tools that we should be doing, but when we're in that state, it's very hard to feel good and positive. So there's the easy statements like happiness is a choice, and I thought, well, happiness is a feeling. It's actually linked to our beliefs of what we think is happiness and not. And so it seems a little bit deeper than that, than just waking up and going, I feel happy today. I just couldn't do it. And I was like, maybe there's something wrong with me. And I know that a lot of people I work with too are the same. And I started to dig into it. And I believe this experience has happened for these reasons, to like dig deeper and to look closer into what's really going on. And so when I really looked at it, and this is a concept that I love to use, so I hope you find it helpful too. Definitely not like a split personality thing, but something in your mind. Melissa Ambashini has talked about it before. She's amazing. If you haven't followed along, definitely highly recommend her books and her work that she does. It's really fantastic about understanding your own mind. And this kind of concept grew from that because she was talking about the mean girl that comes in and really takes over your life. And she is trying to ruin that. For me, she was like teenage years and just really ego driven and fear driven. But I soon realized that we also have like an inner child and also like a wisdom keeper, like the older version of us that, is the know-all version, the judgmental version. You should be doing better. You should know better. And so the first thing I did was kind of get into a meditative state where I was like, who is in the driver's seat here? When you're feeling this way, who is driving the car right now? And it can be different every single time, but for this particular time, it was like that wisdom woman that was in there, and she was just like, you should be happy, you should be grateful, you know better. And I was like, oh God. Now, instead of choosing happiness, like the statement I was trying to relay in my head to be true, I realized in that moment that if I want to get back to gratitude and happiness and abundance and joyful and all those things, I had to choose to help myself. It wasn't a matter of choosing a feeling. It was actually a matter of choosing to do something about it. And the first thing was like acknowledging where you're at and being like, it's okay it's a storm. You can't pretend the storm isn't there. You can't pretend it's sunny, but you can vision sun. You can know that that's going to pass and that there will be sunshine, right? When you're in depressive state, you can't see that sunshine. You can't think. It's like the storm is there and it's going to stay forever. What I loved to do in that moment was when I realized who was driving, I was like, thank you, but you don't need to be afraid. The storm will pass and I have got this. Took back the driver's seat, acknowledged where I am, then said, where do I want to be? It's got to be possible. It can't be a storm forever. So where you want to be? You want to be back to happiness? So I wasn't choosing happiness as such, but I was choosing in that conscious moment to help myself with the tools that I know I have in myself and I have externally, and we have externally. You have access to so much support, right? And it was that moment that was really what empowerment is. It was taking back that power and going, I'm doing something about this. This isn't going to be my story. I still am aware I'm probably not going to feel happy for a little bit of time, but I'll be damned if I'm going to stay in this storm forever. And that was the choice. And that was really powerful. And it felt really good. And from that moment, it kind of snowballed into a lot more action. And I go into so much more detail in my coaching and the areas that you can look at that actually include action. Because remember, there's a decision. That's great. My decision learning phase, but there's also the action phase. If you don't do anything about it, if you decide it, but then you don't take action, you're still going to be in the storm. You have to drive out of it. And you got to start the car and you got to fix the car, whatever it is that needs doing, it's got to happen. And that's where the coaching that I do comes in, because we talk about where that's at for you. It could be biological, it could be energy related, could be, relationship related. It could be environmental related. So there's a whole heap of things that could be contributing to this. And it's about focusing on the one thing that you can do to make that change to help yourself, and then keep helping yourself until that morning where you don't decide to be happy. You generally wake up and feel the weight has been lifted, the storm has passed, and you can breathe again. Because I know in that state, we feel like the weight is too much, like I just can't handle this. And the truth is that you can, but you can't handle it forever. But you have all the tools and resources available out there, and you have to make the choice to help yourself. Stop doing the things that are causing you to stay there and contributing to you staying there, and sabotaging and belief systems and all the things and external coping mechanisms, and choose to do things that you know are good for you, that help you, even though you don't want to do them, even though they're hard. That action is actually where everything changes. And I just wanted to share that with you this week, because it was just such a beautiful, emotional, and I get emotional about it, emotional message, emotional moment where choosing to help yourself is far more powerful than just choosing happiness. Because it's not really for me, it's not really a thing. Happiness is a byproduct of what we believe is going to make us happy. We can change those belief systems, that's fine. But when we're in that state, the only choice you have is to help yourself. And it's just massive. And it was just that moment. And I really hope you find this helpful too. If you are in that state and you're just like, I don't know what the action actually is, or I don't know who's in the driver's seat and who's trying to take over this life of mine and keep me in a fear state and keep me in this way, then do jump on a free call. That's what we're here, like that is what I'm here for to help you decide that too. Having external counsel and someone to reflect upon, that might be all you need to take action. Or you might need more support, but let's do something about it. Choose to help yourself today. Whether that's with me or other things that you need, it doesn't matter. But please choose to help yourself, because you're so worthy. I just adore you. The link to my calendar is below if you need it. But I hope that this moment has been an eye-opening moment for you. And if you want to share it with anyone that might need to hear it, make sure you do. Just click the share button, like or comment if you're going through something similar. But thank you so much. Take care. Happy Wednesday, and I'll see you next week.